Today, I want to talk about some of the things you should never do at a craft show and some of the things that you should do that might help you. Number one, when you go to a craft show, I think it's very, very important that you follow the rules and the policy of the host. I see a lot of vendors. They go to a craft show, they break all of those rules. The first rule, or the rule I think is the most important that people need to follow, is coming on time. If you go into a show and let's say you have to be there at 9 o'clock, I would say you need to have your booth set up, ready to go at least 30 minutes before the show starts. 8:30. And I think a lot of vendors show up 20 minutes, 40 minutes later. Hello, this is what. Tell us, what do you think? I'm talking about how important it is that people show up to the show at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I think it is imperative that other vendors show respect. Otherwise, the customers are walking in, half of the vendors are not set up yet. What do you think about that, Jillian, as the host of our organization?
The best thing to do is be set up and ready at least a half hour, if not maybe 20 minutes, but half hour to 20 minutes before a start time. That way you're not struggling last minute to get everything done, because we all know that things happen last minute. And so it's better to plan on being here a half hour before, be all set up a half hour before the event starts. So that way you're ready to go in case the unexpected happens.
You heard it from the host yourself. And I think a lot of vendors underestimate, if they're going to find traffic or parking. Those are the things you have to plan ahead. You don't just show up, I don't find parking. Well, you should be planning about those stuff.
Yeah.
And to avoid setting up late, I guess.
And a lot of times you'll forget something in your car or something that you need to go grab. And so it's good to just have that extra buffer. So that way you don't have to be struggling to be coming in at the time the event's starting, because then you're more stressed. The event's starting, people are walking through. And sometimes people walk through a little early. So it's good for your benefit if you're set up early, because then they can start looking at your stuff before everyone else is done setting up.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you heard it. So I think a lot of vendors don't realize that. And they just think, well, if they start at 9, I will just show up at 8 o'clock. I won't have enough time to set up. And then I will be able to be ready to go. Like Jillian was saying, sometimes by the time you show up, there are customers already walking in. So now you are, behind, because they are looking at you and you're trying to set up your booth, putting your product on the table, but they cannot really come to you to look at them because you're moving around, and it's just a distraction for all of the other vendors as well. And I think another thing people should really, let me put the mic back. I think one other thing people should really do as well is know how your table is going to be set up, When you come to the craft show, it's not the time for you to guessing and figuring out how the booth is supposed to look like. I think you should already have an idea at home, like the couple days before, set it up so you have an idea of where the table gonna go. And so when you come, you just set your stuff off. Because if you come and you figuring it out, that's more of a distraction for everybody. Rule number 2. If you have a booth that is 4x10 or 10x10, whatever the host say, stick to that. Please do not try to get someone else's space. I know a lot of people, I've seen that a lot on market. They have a booth that is 10x10 and they bring 4 different kind of table and they're trying to get more space than they were allowed to get. I just don't think that's professional. That's rude. And I think that destroy the spirit of what the market is all about. We're supposed to be helping one another. And when you don't plan accordingly and you bring all those tables and trying to get someone else's space, It just create a bad vibe. Rule number three, what should it be? I think you should have your sign display. If you're gonna come to a market, you should have your sign well display of how much your product costs. I don't think you should want your customer to be guessing how much your stuff costs. I know some people that sell different items, so it might be difficult for them to label each single of them eh, individually. But I think you should have a general, like a piece of paper or something that lay out, hey, this is how much this costs. If it's on that side, this is how much it costs. So when the customer is walking by, they can get an idea or a feel for your product. They don't need to stop by. I mean, they can stop by, but they can have a mental. They can take a mental note of how much your stuff costs, because that at the end of the day, you want them to come back or stop by if this is something they are interested in. And I think more vendors need to do that. One of the other thing I see a lot of vendors don't have or they don't do is a lot of them don't have a social media website. When a vendor when a customer stop at your booth and they ask for a business card or what's your Facebook name, you should have that. And I think, why are you going to a market if you don't even have a social media present? Because that's one of the first things people would ask. Hey, where can I buy more if I have a question, or if I want to buy more, or if I have a question, how can I contact you? I think that should be, you should be able to just say the name. I mean, so many of the vendors don't even know the name of the social media they have. Like, if they have Instagram, they don't even know the name of Instagram. They don't know the Facebook name. They have to check their phone. I think those are some of the stuff people should already memorize, crystallize in their mind of what is my social media name. Another thing that I don't like when vendors do, to me, is huge. If you go to a market and then the host say the market end at 3 p.m., I think you should stay until the market finish. I know there are live event that happen. You have to go pick up your kid from school. I don't know, whatever your wife is calling you, she needs you at home. But for the majority of the time, I think most people should plan accordingly so they can stay for the whole duration of the market. The market end at 3, it doesn't end at 2:50 or 2:55. It end at 3. You start taking down at 3. Too many vendors, if the market end at 3 o'clock, by 2:40, they're already taking down stuff and loading their car. That's a problem. I think so many people, customers, are still walking around. And when you do that, how can a customer stop at your neighbor that is selling something while you're packing? That is not inviting. The customer is almost like you pushing them out. That's the vibe that it sent. And there are so many times that I get sales after the market was supposed to end. So many times, because a lot of those customers say, "Hey," always say, "Well, I'll be back. I'm just gonna look around. I'll be back." Majority of the time, they don't come back, right? But at the same time, you'll be surprised the amount of customer that actually follow through, that does come back. And I think you should just keep your booth up. Don't take anything down until the market ends. I mean, that's what you sign up for. And you'll be shocked of the customer that come back, or you just send a good vibe for the market. If the customer has arrived, because the customer doesn't really know when the thing ends. And if your guy is everybody's still set up, and the customer is walking around and still see people set up, they will have the feeling or the vibe that the market is still going on. They can still shop because they don't see any distraction. Because the environment we create as vendors for customer is what would dictate the success of the market or not. The market is successful because I feel like because of each vendors being proactive, being very engaging to make sure the customer have uh, a pleasant time, and any distraction will trigger them to just leave. That's what I think. I think people should really commit to their time, show up on time, do not take early, and make sure your booth is well displayed so the customer can know what you are selling. They don't need to be guessing. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I will be like I say, I'll be posting more of those videos from now on. Thank you.